Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. We're on Season 8, Episode 3. It's toxic. Surprised that song wasn't in here. The song was out by then, right? I don't know. But, yes, this episode gives us some backstory on Oliver Queen. Wait, an episode of television with Oliver Queen with the Green Arrow that has flashbacks? Never seen that before. Yeah. So yes, this one was interesting. Okay, so we start at the rainforest fundraiser that Oliver was putting on, or at least he's a part of. And, while there, Chloe is wondering why Lois is not Clark's date. Apparently, Lois has not been able to stay on Tess Mercer's good side, so she is busy working late. So, yeah. And he also points out that while she works with the corpse, she's been nice to him. So we'll see. But Oliver Queen shows up with a strange woman, and they take a glass of champagne, take a drink. And this is world-class poison that activates right away as he passes out. He begins summoning around. They think he's drunk. Even Chloe's like, oh, he must have been drinking in the limo. He's like, no, Oliver doesn't do that. And he's like, well, I have to take you to the hospital. No. No hospital. And he goes, I have 12 hours to live. We have the credits and we come back. And they go to the ISIS Foundation instead, and Chloe calls in Davis. Well, of course, when he gets there, he's like, he needs to go to the hospital. He's an EMT. Of course he's going to say that. He's like, no. Like, even Clark's like, he should go to the hospital. And Chloe's like, no, we need to trust Oliver. If he doesn't want to go, then he doesn't want to go. And so he's going to monitor, Davis is going to monitor all these vitals. But, yeah. So Clark decides he's going to go track down the date that was with him. So, meanwhile, at the Daily Planet, Lois is showing off her article to Tess, who is not impressed by the article. And when she notices the paparazzi photographs that were taken by Oliver, she's like, oh, well, she tells him all about how he left the party, falling down drunk, and that she wanted Lois to go her story, but doesn't think this should be objective due to their past. But she said, well, we broke up a long time ago, and I can do the story, which, I don't know. By the time Clark gets to Oliver's date, she's being taken away by an ambulance, and EMT says she was found in a bathroom unconscious. So it took longer for the poison to get her than it did Oliver? And he's like, well, she's lucky if she made it to the hospital alive, so... Yeah, and Chloe's at Oliver's side. It's getting worse. Yeah. And then we get the flashbacks, a fever dream that Oliver is having, where he's on a desert island, stranded, foraging for food, and then he puts together a little bow and arrow, and starts to, work on his skills. And he overhears someone else arrive on the island, goes to see it, pricks his finger on a flowering plant is what it says, but a flower, passes out. Meanwhile, back in modern day, Lois shows up at the ISIS Foundation looking for Ollie, and she just thinks he's hungover. And as someone who was recently hungover 2 days ago, I can tell you this is far worse than whatever I went through when I was hungover, so no. But then she sees the heart monitor, and she's like, well, do we need to go to the hospital? Chloe's like, no, He said no hospital. Once he's saying, I know it's a response, but he starts murmuring, and Lois goes to his side. On the island, Oliver wakes up to a younger Tess, who is applying leeches to him. And I'm sorry, whether or not it's going to take away the poison or not, the leeches, yeah. She says that she's a marine biologist, and a hospital would have misdiagnosed him and treated him with adrenaline, which would have killed him. Get to that. But she knows how to cure him. And they're in a tent surrounded by armed men. And she and her friend have also been kidnapped. So, yeah. Meanwhile, back in the modern day, Clark runs into Davis at Kent General. And Davis tells him that they treated Oliver's date with adrenaline. His name is Adriana. With adrenaline, she is fine. And of course, being as we already know, what happens, she flatlines immediately. And because he's going to bring Oliver to the hospital, and then she flatlines immediately. So, yeah, that didn't work. In the flashback, I was confused at first. Tess is telling Oliver, and the man kidnapped her and her friend Megan, who's tied up, and then the lead kidnapper Marcos shows up, tells Oliver, "I know who you are, and I'm gonna use you as ransom, make a lot of money." He then shoots Megan dead, and almost shoots Tess, but he gets in the way. Oliver jumps in the way and says, "No, no, no, no." And then they decide not to kill Tess for some reason. Back in the modern day, we're going back and forth now. Lois at Oliver's side, she's upset that he's getting worse. She starts to wonder if they should have stayed together. Clark comes back. Chloe tells him that she's researched the poison, and she's able to identify the plant because she's super smart, But she's like, apparently, Lucicorp has a database of the plant and thinks that that her powers are from a attack from Brainiac. So she's like, there's nothing we can do about it. So she uses it as a gift. So she gives him a printout of the flower and goes to ask Tess. He goes to ask Tess about the antidote. He goes to see Tess, and he asks her about the plant. He asks her about a project. She denies it, of course, as is the way of people in charge of Lucicorp. But when Clark shows the picture, she recognizes the flower, and he says that Oliver Queen is the one who is in danger. She then admits that it does exist. It's in Brazil, and there's no way they can get the antidote in time. But he super speeds out of there. Still takes a while. Davis comes back to the ISIS Foundation and tells him that Oliver is probably going to die. There's no way to do it. But Lois says, "You got to do anything you can to keep him alive." Back in the flashbacks, he tries to talk to Tess about the death of a friend. He tells her that he told himself that he would change and not waste if he ever makes it out to the island. So they get ready to get on Marco's boat, but Oliver has fashioned a dart. Because they're going to ransom him, so they're all going together. That's right. So he does this thing where he throws it, and it hits one of the poisonous berries automatically, and then it hits Marcos, and it poisons him, and he's like, crawl to where the leeches are, and they can heal you if you get there in time. And they get on a boat and leave the island. But it's getting worse in modern day, so they start to perform CPR. Clark shows up and he just goes, "Use this." And Davis is like, he's a little bit, he's a little bit put off by it, but he decides to do it anyway. And, yeah. And it was recently developed by Quinn Industries, so, yeah. He injects it in Oliver, He immediately wakes up and goes, Mercy, Tess Mercer, you have to go help her. So as she's leaving the Daily Planet, one of her tires has been slashed, and Marcos, alive after all these years, shows up from behind. She fights him back, but he punches her out, and just as he's getting ready to kill her, Clark shows up, uses his laser vision to make a power line fall down and knock him out. Tess wakes up. She does not see him. So, yeah. And Tess is at the Luthor mansion when Oliver shows up. They argue about their past, but where she says, "You never say goodbye." She's like, "Well, how does she put it? You know, other times when you say goodbye, oh wait, you didn't. Like, it didn't work out." Apparently, when she went to work for Lex, he called it off. So the canon is now she's been working for Lex for years now, apparently. And she's like, "No, I'm not. That's not why. That's why I brought you here." Hands him a folder, and he's kind of angry at it. So, when Clark gets back to the Daily Planet, he notices Lois is not working on Oliver's story, and she's decided it's too emotional over the whole experience, and decides she's not going to do it. And she says that her breakup with Oliver was for the best. But that, and Clark, is like, it's okay, you can still feel for him if you want, and that he's watched the breakup video a lot of times, many times, which pops a question in my head, like, should kind of just be over by now, but Collier walks in on Davis just looking at the plant research that she was looking at, and she's like, Chloe's secret's just getting out, I guess. And she laments about how the wedding scene chart is all messed up, and says, "Oh, maybe your fiance doesn't know about it." But Jimmy has barely been in here since proposing. And Davis says, "Everyone has a dark side they might not understand," which, I wonder what that will play into. Maybe later. Meanwhile, at the Ace of Clubs, Oliver is drinking. That's smart. Clark shows up. He's like, "You shouldn't be drinking," and he shows him. He asked why Oliver didn't say that he knew Tess. He's like, "Oh, it's an old thing. It's in the past." But he shows the folder that Tess gave him, and it shows information that tells him that Lionel Luthor sabotaged his parents' plane. There were Luthor Corp employees that were on that plane. And he's like, "Did you know about it?" He's like, "Yeah. But I didn't tell you because I didn't know how you would react." He's like, "I wasn't going to kill him, Clark. And that made me strong enough to face my fears." But Clark is still afraid, I guess. Micros has made bail, and he is getting in a cab. It says boarding a cab. That's not how that works. He's getting in a cab, getting ready to leave, when Tess shows up, scratches his hand with the toxic flower. As he's collapsing, she says that she's the one that bailed him out so she could get revenge, and then tells the cab driver that he's having a heart attack and to take him to the hospital. What am I, can't think of the name. I cannot think of the name. An ambulance? Say he's having a heart attack. She goes, "They'll know what to do," and shows that she has the flower, and yeah. That's how it ends. Because she assumes they're going to use adrenaline in the soul. And he won't be alive no more. So, yeah. Even though I want to point out that they've just had a patient who had the same symptoms. I'm not saying this is stupid, but they just had they had the date, came in with the same symptoms, and they treated it with adrenaline, and it killed her. So you think about, no, wait, don't use adrenaline on him. It could kill him. But then there's no way to actually save him from it unless he has an antidote or something. What if he did have an antidote in his pocket and he's just like, okay, she's dead. I'm safe now. What if he had an antidote? What if he has leeches? I don't know. I guess he wouldn't have an antidote because Queen only has the antidote. What if he had like leeches or something? No, take me to my hotel room now. So I don't know. It's another 3. It's fine. You know, the first episode was better than these two, but it's fine for an episode. I think it works. We're telling Oliver's backstory now, so we get that. And overall, I think it works. It's a cohesive story. So, yeah. What are your thoughts on this episode? Leave comments, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.